Before becoming a household name, Quentin Tarantino worked at the Video Archive in Manhattan Beach. Described as the movie expert, it was whilst working here Tarantino wrote the screenplays, True Romance and Natural Born Killers. The success of these would allow him to quit the Video Archive and release his first feature, Reservoir Dogs. Whilst becoming highly successful, receiving nominations and awards from multiple film festivals, the feature was without controversy. Controversy that led Mike White to create the short film, Who Do You Think You're Fooling? A short that compared Reservoir Dogs to City on Fire through the use of cross-cutting between the two films, creating a coherent piece. But it wasn't just Mike White who found controversy with Reservoir Dogs. In an interview with Empire magazine, Quentin Tarantino commented on the claims of stealing. "I steal from every single movie ever made. If my work has anything, it's that I'm taking this from this and that from that and mixing them together. But is this Tarantino simply paying homage to the films that inspired him, or is this an act of theft?" Tarantino's second feature film came 2 years after Reservoir Dogs. Pulp Fiction was once again a success, winning multiple awards including Best Screenplay at the 67th Academy Awards. Throughout Pulp Fiction there are multiple instances where Tarantino pays homage to other forms of media. One scene with Bruce Willis's character Butch running into Marcellus Wallace, played by Ving Rhames. This scene has large similarity to Psycho, specifically the scene of Marion Crane stopping at the red light. This edit combining Psycho with Pulp Fiction shows the comparisons between Marion Crane seeing her boss and Butch seeing Marcellus Wallace. Given how the two scenes play on the same beats, there are clear references to Psycho, using a secondary character who is known to the protagonist to create a sense of danger and upset to the journey of the protagonist. Tarantino's films would continue to pay homage throughout his career, gaining more and more popularity through the work he was creating. After multiple successes with Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2, Death Proof and Inglourious Basterds, Tarantino moved on to his next project, Django Unchained. During the climactic scene in which Calvin Candy is killed by Dr. Schultz, there are slight references to the 1966 film Il Americano, aka Professional Gun. The white flower on Calvin's lapel pours with blood after the shooting, in a clear reference to the death of Curly in Professional Gun, both staggering for a moment, looking at their wounds before falling. After the release of Django, Tarantino would release 2 more films, The Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the latter of which would be nominated for 10 Oscars, winning 2 for production design and Best Supporting Actor. But now we're going back to the beginning. So we arrive back at Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino's first feature, released when he was just 28. The film with the largest argument for Tarantino's stealing, primarily from Ringo Lam's 1987 film, City on Fire. Firstly, there are major similarities coming from the heist described in Reservoir Dogs and the heist shown on screen in City on Fire, with Reservoir Dogs' recounts of the heist being almost beat for beat as the heist in City on Fire. The main issue arises within the standoff scene at the end of both films, with Reservoir Dogs following the same formula as City on Fire. Not only is this the most troubling of all references, the shots in Reservoir Dogs are much closer to the original material. The dialogue and outcome are extremely similar. Both films touch on remarkably similar stories, with Reservoir Dogs almost acting as a Western remake. Mike White's Who Do You Think You're Fooling largely focuses on these comparisons. The large debate this video has attempted to tackle is whether Tarantino is a thief or if he simply pays homage. The conclusion I have reached is Tarantino is not a thief. He is a director with a love for cinema who wants to pay his respect to those who came before him and the films that inspired him. Reservoir Dogs was his first feature, his first attempt at creating a film that portrayed not only his directorial style, his voice, his message, but also his first chance to pay respect to those who informed him. His later films would get better at being more original and separate from their counterparts while still paying respect. I would like to portray Tarantino as an artist, using the paints of an artist that inspire him to create his own unique piece of art, similar to the point Michael Renette makes in his book Quentin Tarantino and the Director as DJ. I hope this video has helped in exploring homage within Tarantino's films, and how the things that inspire us come together to create something new and unique that represent our artistic selves.